you talking about? The plate is like this big.
Softball fans, I know you're getting sick of seeing just me in the studio. And soon enough, my other half, my better half, Ches Severs, there she is, will be back
One
in the
day.
studio. I know they're sick of me,
One day.
Ches. They want your face in front of Here's the Deal. That's what they want.
I feel like my face is all over the website. Do they really need to see it
I think
anymore?
that's what they want. I think you need to give the people what they want. And by people, I mean me, because I miss you to my left.
Yeah, I miss you too. I appreciate it. But on our show today, we have Coach Lonni Alameda, FSU head coach. Lonni, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It's good to see your guys' faces virtually.
I know. It's weird to not be able to see you, maybe like at the Women's College World Series, but here we are doing something that we've never done before.
Yeah, we've got some fun with it though, and I think that if anyone can handle this, it's sports people, right? Sports people can handle adversity and the ups and downs, so we've all made the most of it. So this is a new adventure to be with you all today.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to hop right in.
Go for it, Sarah.
I, along with all of the rest of the FSU fans and softball fans at large in general, probably wondering what the fall is going to look like at FSU. What insight do you have for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm the same as everybody else until football gets going consistently in their practice right now. We aren't going to really know what's going on. And, I know that a lot of people are planners and they want to plan and they want to know. But I think for us, we're just trying to hope that the safety happens for the fall sports first. And then whatever will open up for us, we'll take advantage of it. We are going as all systems go. So we are planning on being out there the first week of September. And due to the rest that the world of softball has had right now, if you guys can think about this, I don't think any pitcher or position players had actually this much rest on their body since probably 8U softball. So, usually we usually give the first month of September off, but, we'll be starting right up. When they let us go, we'll start up. But I do know that we are in support of whatever soccer needs, whatever the basketballs need, whatever those sports need to get going. In just this really unusual time, we're in support of, but we're ready to get after it.
I'm curious. I got a follow up here. I'm curious because we've started to see some headlines about Clemson football team tested positive, UT football team tested positive for COVID. What's FSU's testing looking like right now for the fall sports? Are they doing a lot of testing? What does it look like?
Yeah, they've a couple weeks ago they started with football, and we're in a little bubble here. Nice, Tallahassee's taking care of itself. Leon County's taking care of itself because we're off the beaten path a little bit. So our football team's been good. We had a couple when the kids came back. A couple kids tested and they've been on quarantine. But for the most part, the university's been shut down. So it's just football. Basketball came back last weekend, men's and women's. And then they're going to start with the soccers and the volleyball here soon. So we are doing pretty good with that part of it. They test every day. They have to wear the mask. They have to do the temperature when they walk into the building, all that stuff. And so, and I only know I'm actually not on campus. Our strength coach and conditioning coach, she's in there. When we Zoom, our staff calls and we Zoom together. She gives us the update. But so far, so good. And any sports fan wants college football to get back going again. So we're all in favor of whatever they need to do.
That's good news. That's good news.
Awesome. Yeah. Obviously, I'm assuming you're very excited about the 2021 season, even though like the start could be in question. We don't know. But recently, some of your seniors had announced that they would be returning: Anna Shellnut, Danny Morgan, Cassie Davis, Kaylin Arnold. And then along with that, you've also got the number one recruiting class coming in. First question, How excited are you in terms of being able to get on the field with that group? And then what are some of the challenges you're going to face with a roster that large and so talented?
Yeah, stuff we've been talking about quite a bit. And I first off want to say we didn't really know if we'd be able financially to support the seniors coming back. The ACC and Florida State, we were waiting a little while on that. And our senior class told us before finances was even a part of it that they were coming back. And I think as a coach, I was so excited to hear that they just wanted to come back and play because they love playing. And it's just not about the dollars. Like, I know Kaylin was getting jobs and figuring out how to pay for her school for her last year, and that's it's a cool thing to hear as a sports fan that the true love of the game is there, and they got it taken away from them. Like every sports person did, at the initial, you don't have a championship season for the initial hour was really devastating. But then after a couple hours, when you see what's happening across the world, it was a way bigger picture than that. And those kids, Danny put off grad school. Cass Davis put off PT school. Kaylin found some jobs. Like they were going to make it happen to come back. So I'm excited for that leadership. That leadership's genuine passion for playing the game, and I'm really excited for that. And then for our rookies, we always do a summer book club with our rookies, and the incoming class is just it's been so much fun because they are also in an adverse situation with not playing club ball in the beginning, losing their high school season, losing graduation, some things like that. So it's been very unique time for us to connect with both sides, our seniors in their super year to our freshmen coming in. So I think, Ches, with the challenge and probably a lot of the coaches that you've talked to, is not only the management of the roster, but the ability to develop your kids. And that's something we take pride in. And we're really trying to figure out is how can I give ample amount of time for the development of a skill set, of a team culture mindset, and then the ability for them to compete for positions in the fall. Because we do have a lot of talented kids. The game of college softball right now is going to be on steroids. It's going to be amazing across the country. If you think about all the freshmen that had 20 some odd games underneath their belt and the opportunity for them to grow as well. So everyone had a redshirt class, times 3, times 4. And so the game of softball is going to be awesome. So we as a coaching staff really have to be good at the developmental piece and figuring that piece out. So I think that's our number one challenge ahead for us come the fall.
You mentioned if we're looking for a silver lining in COVID, it's that the game is going to be at such a high level. You just mentioned it. Like if you're looking for a silver lining, that's it. I'm wondering what challenges COVID is presenting to you in terms of budget, schedules, travel. You mentioned at the beginning of the call, people are planners. They want to try to be planning right now. I'm sure you have plan A through F probably, but what challenges is COVID presenting to you as a head coach right now?
I think that every day is new, but I obviously try to make it in its simplest form is just connecting with the players. I mean, if we have to ride bikes to a park and play some softball, we'll do that. Like we're excited about what we have as a team. And I think if we try to plan A through D and Z, like then you're just putting yourself up to things to not happen. Like what we can control right now is our relationship with our players, our daily actions, all those things. Whatever is ahead of us, if we get a plane, we get a plane. If we get a bus, we get vans, we get bikes. Like we'll make it happen. We want to play some softball, so we'll make it happen. And I think that's been our mindset the whole time. So that way it's just, we take care of what we can take care of. And that's, holding each other accountable to workouts. We've got like a running group going on right now. We're challenging ourselves each week to doing something different. And some, are pushing each other in their sprint workouts. Some are doing mile runs. Some are doing walkathons. Like everyone's doing something different, but it's something tangible that we can hold each other accountable in. And that's all we can worry about right now. And so I think that part of it has been really fun. It's just been a daily check-in.
Oh, nice. Who's leading the charge in that regard? Is it your players that are coming up with those ideas, or are those ideas that it's kind of a collaborative effort?
It's been players. Actually, Travis Wilson really wanted to get after running. He's wanted to start running and get after some things, and so he needed some extra motivation. But then like Kaylee Mudge, some of these kids, they're just knocking it out of the park. And you wake up, by 6:30, 3 people are already on it going, I ran 2 miles, and you're like, holy crap, like I suck right now, So it's just literally a good team self-motivation, but also along the way, someone's taking a picture of their dog, or they're sending a picture of the sun rising, or me, I'm always at night, so I'm always the sunset. So it's just a full day of good connection, but also daily motivation.
Awesome. Just switching gears into recruiting, and then with these dead period extensions and the eligibility extension, how have you kind of approached some of those challenges?
Yeah, I think recruiting is I'm still trying to figure that out. I think it's changed in the last couple of years in general. We've done a lot of Zoom calls with coaches and club organizations. Usually you're at the ballpark, just like back in the day, Ches, right? Talking to your dad, like you're sitting at the ballpark and you're just talking shop with people. And we're missing that right now, right? We're missing
Yeah.
all those dads that have turned into be these huge contributors to the game of softball by being club ball coaches. And so I look at it and, I'm like, oh man, I'm missing those connections with people that love the game. So we've set up some Zoom calls and we've connected with some organizations and just talk shop a little bit to keep that going. I think it's been cool to see how creative the 21s, 22s, 23s have been on social media. You see all the workouts in the garages. You see them in the backyards, whether they're by themselves, their dog, their mom. Like they're all, I guess you figure out that people do love playing the game of softball. And it's not all about earning a scholarship because they are out there doing it. And so that's been really refreshing to see. So I know some people are frustrated with the virtual, or not virtual so much, just the live cameras, because we can't be out there right now. But that's all technology. It's a growing, you guys know that, going through it. It's
Yeah,
just
right.
growing.
I know.
Yeah, and it's really tough for them. And I feel bad for whoever's setting this all up because I know they're doing it with the best of intentions. But I think it's been neat to see ground zero. Every kid in their social media platform, what they've been putting out there, how they're promoting themselves. You're just really seeing genuine passion for the game. And because they have to be responsible for themselves right now, there's actually growth within themselves, trying to get creative on. I've seen some kids like in a half bullpen down in the basement throwing. Like, even though it's not a full bullpen, they're probably getting more out of it because they're putting themselves in a position to get better. So they're connecting with themselves more. So again, I think recruiting's been good on that side. I've seen a lot of just sitting at home, a lot more of inside scoop, I guess, insider scoop, I guess, than you can see out in the fields.
You're talking
I have
about
a follow-up. Sorry,
yeah,
Sarah.
no, Ches. I defer to Ches all the time.
Yeah.
Sorry. As you were talking, I was thinking about how critical is kind of having that alone time, working out and figuring yourself out. How important is that to a player's own development?
Yeah, it's extremely important. And that's probably one of the things that I think is the most challenging for freshmen. They get to school their freshman year, and for the of their parents, they've been taking them everywhere. They've been taking their club ball coaches, practices, their hitting lessons, their pitching lessons. Now all of a sudden, Susie's by herself, right? And she has to figure out how to get the cages on her own. She has to figure out how to work on her own. And as a freshman, that's really hard to do because you're being pushed in a lot of areas as a growing human being. So this is going to help the rate of understanding how to work on backhands on your own by yourself or hitting the cage on your own by yourself. And these kids are going and doing it by themselves. So they're capable of it, And I know when our freshmen figure out their 20 minutes by themselves, whether it's in the morning, between classes, in the evening, that one-on-one time, that builds their self-confidence. They know they're putting hay in the barn, quote unquote, right? They know they're working on things. They're figuring it out. Now, all of a sudden, they become a more confident player and they can have a little more fun when they figure that piece out. So I totally think it's a huge silver lining, again, in this big COVID cloud of the growth of young women right now and how they can get more out of their 4 years when they get to the level that they want to be at in college.
I'm so impressed with your ability to find silver linings. We're like 15 minutes in, and you've already found two silver linings in terms of how COVID is gonna bring us a super season, and how it's helping to develop younger people in a situation that they would have never otherwise found themselves in. So I think you're the queen of silver linings. That's what I'm going to dub you here. You know, you're talking about recruits being scrappy and creative, and you know, we've had a lot of coaches come on and give advice to recruits. What would be your biggest piece of advice to, you know, the classes that are upcoming in terms of recruits, and what you suggest for them to be doing right now?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now is there's a little FOMO, right? Like I'm just there's nothing going on. I'm missing out my chance. I'm missing out my chance. But the reality is there's nothing going on. You're not missing out on anything. Every coach is at home. No one else is getting ahead of you anywhere, whether it's a camp or a clinic or anything like that. And in reality, this is the first time everyone's been on the same playing field, because everyone could sit at home with an iPhone in their backyard and take some footage. And I think some kids in the past have felt like it's been unfair because I'm not on field A with the other teams, I'm on field C. Well, now everyone's on social media and you have the chance to do your platform, and we're all looking, we're all watching. I mean, there's nothing else to do. And if you want to get some softball in your life, you're flipping through, watching Twitter, social media, whatever it might be. So I think, you know, for the kids, you know, don't stress, just grow, be you. And when we get the chance to open up the gates and go out there and do this thing called softball that we all love, you know, be ready to go. And it looks like, just from what I'm seeing, all the kids are ready to go and get after it. And of course, a lot are right now. But when all the coaches are out to get out and recruit again, you know, I think it's time to shine and let your skills play.
How would you prefer, you know, recruits contact you when they're allowed to? You know, some coaches were like, yeah, email me. Some coaches were like, yeah, tag me on social. Do you have a preference, or are you just all over everything all the time and you can't miss anything?
I think it's all over everything all the time. I think as a coaching staff, like I'm the emailer. T Will's a little more on social media. T Cam's a little bit of both. Like, you know, it's just like when you get to school as a player, you're going to connect with a different coach. That's why there's three of us in a staff. So we're all able to hit all the different areas and see things. So yeah, I think it's that, and just your relationship with your club ball coach and the relationship of club ball and high school coaches with the current coaches. I think is so important. You know, and I've always been a big fan of being very real with your expectations of where to play, to put your time in there, or have those real big kid talks. You know, like right now it's going to be hard for recruits because there's going to be this huge roster for the next year or two of college softball, right? We're going to have 27, I think, this year on our roster. And so as much as maybe a 21 wants to be here, it's not fair to them because they're not, the chance to play is not here, right? So if we have that talk early and you can find somewhere else, or the 22 class or whatever, we get into 23 class, if you have those talks, then you're going to find the place that you can flourish as a player, which is going to help you in everything. Because if you're not happy in the softball field, you're not going to be happy in the classroom, you're not going to be happy in life. And then all of a sudden 4 years has gone like that. And you look back and you're like, man, if I that right, if I could have played like I wanted to, then everything else seems to just take a tick up, and you know, life seems to be pretty awesome for the next 4 years. So I think the reality and those relationships with the coaches really help that relationship to find that right fit.
Awesome advice. Thank you, Lonni. FSU camps. We already know it's one of the best in the country. And I'm assuming, based on what we've talked about, everything's full steam ahead until you're told otherwise.
Yep.
What can people expect from the upcoming camps, and when are they scheduled to kick off?
Yeah, it's funny you ask, because we just had that talk this morning. Like, all right, what are we going to do? Because I'm getting a lot of emails saying, when's camp going? Because, you know, Sarah, I think too, like the next step for us is camps and recruiting. And I think that's going to blow up. I think in the fall and maybe even January, those camps are going to blow up because these kids are feeling like they're missing 2-3 months of recruiting. Well, now they can get on campus for a day, and that can check both boxes. So We are planning on our normal December winter camp. We actually might do 2 of them in December and 2 of them in January. But also understand that most schools right now are shutting down Thanksgiving, and they're keeping everyone, like, they're already making that decision, right? So you go home for Thanksgiving, you're online for the rest of the time for Christmas. We'll see you in January. And if that's the case, that's more than likely the case to not have people coming on campus. So now you're looking at not having a camp on campus because they don't want people away and then coming back. So I think those are all going to be in limbo. But as anything, we'll roll with it and we'll figure it out, and we'll make it happen because not only do we love the camp part of it, Ches, you know this. I just grow so much selfishly from all the people that we bring in. So it's a labor of love on a lot of sides. So we will make it happen. It's just a matter of, when we can per state rules and school rules and all that kind of stuff.
Any surprise instructors that we may have not seen in the last several years? Any ideas?
Yeah, no, no, none. Yeah, we haven't even talked that far into it yet. We've definitely been trying to pick at the Major League Baseball coaches because they just have so much more experience in a lot of different, like, technology piece, right? We jumped into technology, softball's jumped into technology, and with this COVID vacation, I've jumped into it. I'm doing like a weekly class right now with Rapsodo and some other companies to make sure that I have a really good grip, and also knowing that it's going to take us a while to collecting. But Major League Baseball has been doing it for a long time. So I am trying to get into MLB people and, like, explain to me what works, what doesn't work, what do you like? Because if we can learn from people that have been doing it for a while, it's going to help our game grow. And then we don't have to go down the roads that they went down already to find out what works for us. So definitely, some MLB people in camp. That's always a big one for us to keep learning. But yeah, after that, I don't know. We'll see.
Who would you put on that kind of dream list of instructors to come to camp? Do you have any?
Oh gosh.
Well, clearly you're at the top of the list, Ches. Clearly. And then after that,
Yeah, she's already sick of me.
Not even, Ches. We've had you guys every year, so no.
I
You guys are
know.
always
I love
in.
going.
Yes, always in. I don't even know. I think it's we've talked to so many MLB managers this break, and honestly, NFL football coaches, like, just really trying to get into culture and locker room and how you manage people, all those kind of things. And then where does analytics fit in? Where do you fit that in when you're developing a player? It's one thing for a coach, it's another thing for a player. To sit down and put numbers in front of you, and here you are trying to figure out how to cook your ramen noodles at night, and now I've got these numbers in front of you. Most kids can't handle all that at the same time. So
Yeah.
and even at the major league level or the NFL level, they're still young, and they may be really skill talented, but mentality wise, it's a lot for them to take in. So yeah, I don't know. We're still searching that out, trying to feel that out a little bit, and definitely having a lot of fun with it. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Did you get any interesting responses to your question about how to integrate numbers and all of it to be able to kind of sink in and for student athletes to absorb it?
Yeah, nothing that we didn't already know, honestly. I think that a lot of times when you reach out to people at the highest level of their game and you expect to hear this high level, but in reality, it's sitting down, having lunch or coffee with people, getting to know them personally, getting to know what they can handle or what they want. And that's the one thing that I think we've done really well as a staff is we sit down with the players and ask them what they want. What do they want out of their experience? What do they want out of the season? And how can I help you? Versus flipping it and saying, this is what I want from you. This is where I want you to go. This is what, and then throwing numbers at you. That may never connect to you, but, in talking to the Braves, the Bills, like, they sit down with those players and ask them, what do you want? What can I help you with? How cool is that level, again, is just a service level. And that's all we do as coaches is we're serving players to become the best version of themselves. Then why don't we give them that opportunity of say and how they want to be as a ball player on the field too? So So maybe a little reaffirmation of some of the things that we've already been doing. But again, it just comes down to being a good human being and trying to help human beings be human beings. And it's just so cool that dudes are doing that at a high level too. So I was really excited about that and inspired about it.
That's so
Right
cool.
on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, as promised, the fun question at the end.
Here it goes.
I'm building it up like it's going to be something big. It's not that big. But we've asked everybody, what, again, I'm expecting, you know what, I do have high expectations for this because of your silver lining answers. This is
gosh.
what new hobbies or skills have you developed during quarantine? And I'm expecting something extravagant from you, given, I need 3 silver linings. So what new hobbies or skills have you picked up besides some data analytics and performance analytics?
Well, I don't know. Can Zoom be a hobby? Because boy, I've been Zooming a lot, and I wish I would have had a little stock in this before it even jumped out. Just not smart enough.
Right?
But
Yeah.
no hobbies. Honestly, the honeydew list, my own personal Lonni honeydew list for myself, knocking it out of the ballpark. Very proud of myself. There are so many projects I've been just pushing off to the side. All of a sudden, the years fly by, and you just don't catch up with stuff. And one of them that's been really rewarding, every year, I do a memory book for the girls. And so I'm like I guess a mom, putting all their articles together and all the little knickknacks and fun memories that you don't really have time to put together. And nor did I for the last 6 years. And so I knocked out, me and Christian, our volunteer coach, 61 books. We did 61 memory books and finally finished off like all the seniors books, and we were able to send them out to them and just hopefully share a smile with them. And then, later when they have kids and family, they can flip that book every now and then and show them how amazing mom was when she played at Florida State. And so that was a really good memory lane trip for me and for Christian, our volunteer. He learned a lot about the history of softball, and it was really cool. It's one of them I knocked off my Lonni do list, and it was an awesome, good 2 months spent going down memory lane of what we've done here.
That's really cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lonni. Always a pleasure chatting with you, and I'm glad that you're doing well. And we're really looking forward to seeing the Noles get on the field for the 2020-21 season.
Yeah, we can't wait. We hopefully we're out your way. We're hoping to come play Texas. Schedules work out, but that is definitely in the mix this year, if not next year, however we figure that out. But we are looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to welcome you here in Austin.
Yeah. As we
care,
know,
Lonni.
And then it goes straight to competition mode. So.
Oh, yeah. I know. Friends for a minute. You're welcome.
Yeah, right?
Thanks, Bye, Coach. Appreciate it. She's great.
Another gem.
She's great. So all those silver linings, so many silver linings.
Yeah.
I was just like, I could not get over her positivity. I was like, she's awesome.
Well, she just continuously frames a situation for the best possible way to look at it. And I think, especially given the situation.
Yeah, what was really interesting is she's taking a kind of roll with the punches approach. Whereas other coaches that we've talked to, they have A, B, C, D, E, F plans, right? And it just kind of shows the different personality of the coaches and how they're attacking this and how there is not necessarily a best way to do this, right? There are high-level coaches who are handling this situation completely differently. And they know their teams and they know their leadership style. And, it'll be interesting come next season to see how these teams react. So that was fun. She's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, just talking about the 2021 season, it's going to be insane. Like the talent on the field is going to be ridiculous. It makes me think, like, why not just make college 5 years? Just let them play 5 years. Why not?
They'd love it.
It's only going to get Come on.
And now
they keep adding on classes to degrees anyway.
What'd you say?
I said they keep adding classes onto degrees anyway. Why don't just add 5 more?
And now the NCAA has let them, they can make money now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why not?
No brainer. Yeah.
We,
We're just putting it out there.
we got this
This is
figured
an
out.
idea, and it's a great one. Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, Ches. What is next on Flow?
All right, we got the Top Club National for the first time on FloSoftball. Very excited about this. We've got teams in the 14U, 16U, and 18U division. We're going to see Athletics Mercado Smith. We'll see Georgia Impact. We'll see the Bombers. We'll see Tennessee Mojo. In every age group, the level of competition is going to be insane, and they're all fighting for a grand prize at the end. So we're very excited. It starts Wednesday, and it goes all the way to the 27th, and that's out of Oklahoma. And then next week, we've got the Triple Crown Texas 4th of July tournament out in Conroe. It'll be July 1st through July 5th. And then we could possibly see the USSSA Pride Scrapyard team face off against one another. I'm not sure, but it's possible. And then we got the Battle on the Diamond Showcase, PGF Southeastern Regional Championship, and the Granddaddy or Grandmama. We can call it the Grandmama.
One, the grand of them all.
Yeah, PGF Nationals, baby. It's going down in California. So that's what's up, and that's what's going down. This week on the Ches Show, we have Tony Rico on the podcast. He talks about the California Fast Pitch League. And then next week, we have top 5 recruit Tiara Jennings, Oklahoma recruit. So very excited to share all my conversations with you guys. That's the deal.
That's the deal. Till next time.